Good after morning. Okay. Usually it's good after morning. Today is after morning. It's 2 minutes past 1 in the afternoon, which means obviously that it's 10 a.m.
Ish.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome into the Scoop. My name is Graham Day. This is Bib. We at Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. How you doing? Hey. Tito. Good after morning, says Tito. I'll read Gagad dropping a lurk. How we doing? Just starting in time for me to have my lunch. What we having, Gagad? What are we eating? Give us the details. Friday's Scoop. Almost.
Nearly.
Ish. Tis bad. Slack bastards. We are your life. You belong to us.
I actually thought when I initially thought that, I thought it said slick bastard, so I was going to take that as a massive compliment, but
no, he's telling you to check out the messaging app that we use for communication.
Yeah.
We get you. Nice. How you doing, Tez Bad? You all right? Yeah, all right. Welcome in, everyone. You may have seen yesterday we spoke about Nintendo Direct. Nintendo's Direct did happen. You may have seen us sit here and say, do you know what, temper your expectations.
Tiny.
Tiny temper your expectations. To be fair, that's what we were saying. Get yourself tempered but tiny expectations. Because Nintendo Directs, let's be honest, have been a bit meh.
I know, yeah. It's like we rehearsed this. You know, if anyone's been here long enough, you'll definitely know that this is definitely not rehearsed.
Graham, are you going to turn your mic on?
Well, there we go.
There you go. That's definitely not rehearsed.
I was taking Bibby's word for it. He said the audio's all good today. I didn't realise that he'd muted me. I see what it is now, Bib.
Sorry, this is definitely not my show.
Why is Bibby hatless? Bibby is hatless because... Is it Bibby so hatless?
I don't think the hat would have gone with what I'm wearing today.
Why is it Bibby so hatless?
Big tune that, by the way.
Nice.
Big tune.
Nice. So yes, we told you to temper your expectations. The Nintendo Direct has been a bit garbage for the last year. It's not going to be great this time. Or it's not that it wouldn't be great. That it had the large potential of we wanted it to be great, but we've wanted the last few to be great. This one probably going to be the same. Right? Wrong.
No.
It was a banger. Wall-to-wall bangers. Left, right, centre. Brand new games. Remakes for old games. And more.
Everything in between.
And more. Yeah, exactly.
Can I have that coaster on the other end of the desk, please?
No, that one
You've
is...
stolen mine.
That one is to hold the end of my ice cream. I'm sorry.
Your real-life ice cream. Thank you very much.
Which I actually... I'm going to hold on my crotch yesterday, because I was talking about this last night. I was sat here playing with it the other day. And West, we were watching a clip yesterday. It was who's that Pokemon? It's Pikachu! Fuck! And it's me and Bridie from back in the day. And West's like, you hiding a boner or something there? I was like, maybe I am.
These are my boner pants.
Just Pokemon just gets me off. And why is Bibby? Bibby is hatless because it's like an homage to the fact that we have. Do you know what I'm going to
Oh my god. It's kind of a first look, but it's not something that you haven't seen before.
Yeah, it's stuff you've seen before, but not in this sort of fashion. Ice cream.
Oh my god!
Get
I
out
thought
of
you
the way. No, it was just me.
I thought the chair was going to wheel off.
So these things are cardboard boxes.
Yes,
We've
they
just
are.
had the cardboard boxes arrive, and in the cardboard boxes
Live unboxing.
is Flat Peak. Oh
Yeah.
no! So this you
Represent.
kind of see. I'm wearing black. The hat is black. You can kind of see it. So we have the hats. We have the boxes. All we're needing now is just the stickers to arrive, which are on the way from Denmark. I think they were actually printed in. But they are on the way. They're not in the UK yet. So as soon as the stickers arrive, we'll be able to take orders, which will probably be next week.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to clip this up and put it into the merch channel later on. So the likes of Spike Up, when he keeps on asking when they're going to be on sale. Pirate will be able to have a look at them as well.
Naked Neil, he's after one as well.
All the rest of the guys who have been dying for these hats for the longest time will be able to see and hear when they are expected to be able to get some.
Yeah, hopefully we can get, if the stickers arrive, they may even arrive tomorrow, depending. So if the stickers arrive tomorrow, then we'll probably have everything set in place to take your orders, get your addresses, and start doing them in either batches or one fell swoop.
Yeah, that is going to be a very manual process, by the way. It's not going to be like a web portal where you go in and you'll be able to get receipts and stuff like that. You'll get your PayPal receipts and things, but Yeah, it's going to be a very manual way. Me and Graham will be, with love, putting your hats into boxes and getting them sent down to the Royal Mail department down the road.
Yeah, it will be a case of one car full. Although we can print the labels and stuff first, so that makes it a little bit easier for us. It's none of that. Like when you go to the post office and someone goes in with like 12 bags in front of you and you're like, I just want a fecking stamp.
Yeah.
And they're like, can you just do this one, please? We don't have to do that. So we can get all of them priced up and stuck on before we go. So yeah, it's just a case of we then just go down and go yeet.
We won't be taking your long number and your CCVs on the back of it. It will definitely be done via a digital platform like PayPal and stuff like that. Basically, so you get your receipts and things like that as well. So it's all kosher. It's all above board.
Exactly. What? Free shipping to Australia? Thanks, love you guys. Ish.
Coming in from a London under.
We'll see how much it is though. We'll because with stuff like that, we will speak to you directly just to let you know. Because most places will just go, okay, how much does it usually cost ish to Australia? $5? Okay, we'll call it $8 just so we know if but we won't do that. We'll be like, okay, it's going to cost this, which means it'll be this kind of thing. So we'll let you know if you're interested in one. You don't have to buy until you know exactly what it is, because we're doing it all manually. We'll be speaking to you manually. We'll give you the links manually and so on. So yeah, hopefully.
Plus the box weighs nothing.
Yeah,
like the hat and the box, the sticker's going to weigh nothing as well. It's really light.
It's almost like the same weight as this kind of thing. It's just more the sizing.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've bought a lot of places will send out hats in plastic bags, but we don't want to do that because they just can get trashed. So especially if we're sending them all the way to Australia, we've bought a box that's big enough for it to sit in without it being squashed. So you get a good quality hat that's not been damaged. Hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood.
I genuinely think that this with my tea in it is heavier than the boxes.
Yeah, it is.
So that's just like that's my very. I mean, it's not the biggest coffee in the world, or coffee cup or whatever, but it's that those boxes weigh nothing. But like I said, it's the size that's going to be a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
It definitely won't fit for you a box anyway. So
we'll sort it. Mario Kart DLC and Wii Sports was the highlights. Also, morning boys. Hey, Chaos right at Zero. How are we doing, sir? Good after morning. Ozzy Sanic says ads. I don't know what that means. Is that an emote? If that is an emote, it's not come up for me. I don't know. Oh, it is. It's a dancing Sonic. Okay, I was like, what? What? That's the downside of using chat. We don't get to see the emote. Bully says he put the most random Pokemon for us to guess. I did yesterday.
What was it?
It was Kangaskhan.
Okay.
But like,
what was that? Second gen?
First gen. So we only do it in the first 151 Pokemon. But usually you'll get people throw out like, because it's yes no answers, questions and answers. It was like, is it fire? Nope. Is it blue? Nope. Is it? But the guesses kind of stopped then, and people started to go on to, is it Electabuzz? And it's like, you could have been like, someone eliminated Dragon, but nobody eliminated normal type or fighting type or poison type, and there was loads of other types that they could have been like, let's get rid of all of these. So,
well, I remember playing that. I think you mentioned it before about you and Bridie doing it, but I remember playing that at my old job when I used to have my phone on my desk and my wireless earphones in, just like trying to type on the sly. Like, yeah, I'm definitely doing my work.
It's like I was saying, like we've had some that have gone quite far, and I think it was Machoke. So everyone remembers Machop and Machamp, but everyone forgets Machoke. And Machoke lasted a while, but yesterday got to the point where Neil was like, "No, that's it. I have guessed every single Pokemon." I was like, "No, you aren't." Pokemon is like wrestling for me. I don't get it. Yeah, it's
none of them wear spandex though.
Yeah, if we had like full on spandex. Bejazzled Pokemon, then Tito will be all over it, because they are his two loves that he tries too hard to protest
absolutely
about.
That's protest too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Not long until the new WWE game arrives. Is it March?
March.
Can't wait.
Timeless already got it pre-ordered. Nice.
Cannot wait.
Machoke does, well, I suppose he does really. He's almost got like spandex pants on. So yeah, fair play. I'll have to go to the post office anyway, as apparently I'm not in when I'm sat working from home.
That happened yesterday. In here, Hermes, meant to be delivering my FM Journal, said that we tried at 11:30 and no one was there to take the parcel. There's an office full of about 20 people. Are they on glue?
I just stood outside. Hello, anyone? No. ASMR postman? Nope.
Ridiculous.
Get out of here. Hatchlula? I don't know what that is. That's not in the first 151, so therefore it doesn't count. It can get in the bin. That bird Pokemon wears a mask. If it's not in the first 151, then it doesn't count. It can get in the bin. And there's So, yeah, no. Pokemon wrestling crossovers, genius idea. I mean, Pokemon Stadium fighting jobby, that's the one. Nice. Anyway, jumping back into the news then. So let me give you the full recap of the of the who we are and the what we do first off. I did mention that this is the Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. We are live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, where we go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. Ish. It's not 10 a.m. It's a little bit after. We'll just leave it at that. Nice. Anyway, we do go live on Twitch, but we also turn the live stream into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast that goes on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play. So there is lots of places where people do watch and listen to this show on demand, over 105,000, I might add. So if you are in the chat, please do feel free to get involved. On behalf of everyone that does watch and listen on demand, before we go into the news, let me remind you guys, we've just been speaking about them, but exclamation mark hats, we are almost at the point, it'll probably be next week when we start sending out the hats for those that want to buy them. With the price, as we say, we'll confirm with the postage stuff, but we expect it to be around £17, all in. So that not 17 quid plus postage and packaging, around 17 quid all in. Naturally, that will be different if you are Tasbad and you live at the other side of the world, but we will try help wherever we can with any of that sort of stuff. We're not in it to make tons of money on this because they're not 30 quid hats. So if we were trying to rinse you, that's what they would be. We're just trying to make
plus
it so.
Packaging.
Yeah.
£30 plus.
30 plus, and then there's tax, and then there's insurance, and then there's just the bibby tax as well on top of that. The two Lambo tax.
We are the people that are going to be putting them in there. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, literally, there is 5 bags of hats and a stack of cardboard boxes over there. We're just going to be there with like packing tape, just kind of like. Do you know what? If you get any dodgy weird notes inside, then it's full on done.
I was just about to say, is the printer colour upstairs?
I don't think it is.
I think it's black and white.
Yeah. Wow, what was you going to do?
Nothing.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing.
Interesting. So many people are mad at Nintendo. It was obvious we wasn't getting a huge announcement like Breath of the Wild 2. They'll save that for Nintendo. People are mad at Nintendo? What?
Yeah, we literally had this conversation, like word for word yesterday, didn't we, about expectations, like just.
But even still,
all the major things you would think that there was going to save for the treehouse at E3 anyway.
Like I dropped my expectations and expected garbage, and this Nintendo Direct was better than where I expected it to have been anyway, even before dropping it. So yeah, also, just a reminder as well, loot drop. Anyone that does want to drop a sub on the channel, you can get yourselves a prize. One person every month is gifted a prize. This month's prize was 40-year-old Merc King, who bagged himself one of the hats that will be distributed next week. What's up?
You said one of the prizes was, as in like, you've just won 40-year-old...
one of the prizes was 40-year-old Merc King.
There you go. Yeah,
congratulations, Old Bald Steve. You get to keep.
You pay for the shipping though.
So one of the prizes was one of the hats that we will be sending out, and it still is the prize, not actual 4-year-old Merc King. So yeah, we will be sending him his hat out next week, as well as Tito's and anyone else that does want to opt in and buy one. But as mentioned, today's news is focusing on Nintendo Direct. We will start off giving you everything that was announced in the Nintendo Direct last night. We'll then jump into the fact that Microsoft claims it will continue to release Activision Blizzard games for PlayStation. So we've said they'll release the next few, but actually that could last a lot longer than that. And then finally, indie devs are worried about the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard deal, and they can't afford to compete with Game Pass.
I know. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Can you get rid of it?
Yes.
There we go.
There we go. Nice. Looking at dodgy websites. Honestly, I mean, it's only lingerie, but still, if it makes you sound odd, then I'll go with it. Anyway, everything announced in the Nintendo Direct. This article is written by Yin-Poole at Eurogamer, and it says, Earthbound, Mario Kart 8 DLC,
Oof.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3, more! The Nintendo Direct is finished. In case you missed it, here's every game shown during the broadcast alongside their trailers. Sadly, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 failed to make an appearance, as did Metroid Prime 4. Perhaps we'll get to see those titles later in the year. But first up, Nintendo revealed the Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. That's a Fire Emblem... How do you say that? Musou? I don't know. Game set in the Three Houses universe. It's due out on Switch on the 24th of June. Seen a little bit of that trailer there. Next up, Nintendo offered a fresh look at Advance Wars 1 and 2.
adverts.
Nice. Reboot Camp, which launches on the 8th of April. It's got voice. See, this is why Eurogamer isn't my number one games website. They embed the videos using their own players so they can make revenue off that, which I understand. Everyone's got to eat. But VGC will just give you a YouTube link to the trailer there because VGC realise, okay, people want to come back to our website to get news. So I will go to VGC first because they just give you a better user experience. So GG's VGC. Anyway, next, Nintendo offer a fresh look at Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, which launches on the 8th of April. It got voiced characters, a reset turn feature, fast forward, and new modes. Okay, do you know what? Not going to say much on that one either. So we've had Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. We've had Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. We then jump into a surprise, as it says here. Here's a surprise. No Man's Sky is coming to Nintendo Switch. Hello Games Space Epic launches on Switch this summer.
I'd love to show you the trailer, but I can't because there's ads playing.
Yeah,
Not our ads, but
what ads plays?
It's ads players. Ads players.
I can't watch it because ads plays all over the goddamn.
Says Ben, I'll get you a picture of the yacht in a second, mate.
So No Man's Sky, you can see the trailer playing on stream. Did you expect this?
No, I didn't. I mean, we always talk about this being the biggest redemption story in video games in terms of this was a pile of hot garbage when it released. Within a month of it coming out, it was in your bargain bins next to the tills for £10 rather than it being the £40-50 game it should have been when it came out. However, since then, it has gone on to be one of the biggest and best games available and definitely worth your money. So the fact that this is coming over to Switch now, I genuinely thought this might have been one of those games that might be a little too big for the Switch. Not in terms of graphical powerhouse, but in terms of what the capabilities are available for it. I apologise, but there's Bow Avenue advertisement just rolling on the screen now. So, yeah. I mean, we're covering most of it up anyway. I mean, that's perfect, really. We're covering 90% of it up. But yeah,
it's only advertisements for lingerie, but still. I mean,
what have I been looking at?
It's the same one you got rid of, isn't it?
Yeah. And now it's a YouTube Premium again. But yeah, I genuinely thought this might have been one of the games that might be too big to come to the Switch. Again, not in terms of graphical powerhouse, because there is obviously a lot more games out there that will be a lot more demanding than this game, but just in terms of the scale of the game and how big the game would be, I thought it might be a little bit difficult. But they've managed to do it again, so brilliant. No Man's Sky getting yet another chance, and a chance that I think it deserves for more people to be able to play it.
I am absolutely 100% not ashamed to be on Twitter and Instagram sharing our social media posts.
Well, someone did it late.
That's fine. We're just allowing people to interact. So there you go. If you're on Twitter and Instagram, you can share our live posts. And I'm just punching the microphone because that's how excited I am to share those posts. We just posted. And yeah, feel free to share them. Let everyone else know we're live. Sorry. The end of the bit you were just saying was?
No Man's Sky, great.
Nice. I did not expect it. I agree. This is the thing that we do throw back to. Okay, it started out crap. It's a game that they secured and they won the community over to the point that starting out bad actually worked out good for them.
Yeah.
It's like it's a bold strategy and let's see if it pays off for them. It did. That's not what they intended to do, but they started out with a below-par game and they've saved it. Didn't expect it, though. I genuinely just assumed, oh, well, that's No Man's Sky. We'll have to wait for a No Man's Sky 2 or something like that. It's going to be years away before we've not even started hearing about it. This just comes out of nowhere and just lands on Switch. So yes, it's probably a game that's easy enough to port, but we're already getting into the realm of, okay, Switch is getting new experiences here. So Ads has said a lot of people are already angry at Breath of the Wild, Zelda for not seeing Breath of the Wild 2. Not Zelda. Nintendo for not seeing Breath of the Wild 2. But, I mean, we've had No Man's Sky. Yes, okay, that's something new that Switch players have never had before. And then we get to this is big news for me. Next up was another brand new title, Mario Strikers Battle League, due out on the 10th of June. The Nintendo football game has 5v5 competitive matches with items and special moves. Expect a gear system that impacts stats with online clubs for up to 20 players and rankings. It's basically Rocket League, but more football themed and with changing the cars for Mario players.
Did you ever play any of the other Mario Strikers games? Yeah, so it is a bloodbath of a game, really. Like it's It's a very, very good game. I mean, this is probably going to be more in depth than any of the other ones. Like, you can see the customization on the screen there. You can see you would get a base Mario, and then if you put a helmet on, you might get more strength. If you put, I don't know, a new pair of boots on, you might be able to go a little bit faster. So, again, depending on the type of teams that you're going to be coming up against, if, for instance, you know that my team is predominantly a stronger team, you might go for a team that might consist of players who are a little bit more agile, so you've got the pace. That's the benefit of playing tactical games like this. To a very small degree, I do think it might be a little bit more Rocket League-y, but I think this is not a football game. This is a game that has a football in it, but there's a lot more at play rather than just smacking the ball in the net. But, I mean, this is a game that I am super looking forward to. The fact that you have a multiplayer aspect of it, up to 20 people per club, you can create a pro clubs, essentially, online. So
I find it interesting that this is a game that you're super excited about, but I think the closest thing I've seen to this is Tsubasa, and you was like, I'm not interested in Captain Tsubasa at all.
Do you know what? Again, I do agree with you with that. The amount of times that I've seen, I think I watched Iceman stream it various times as well, Tsubasa, and every time I look at it, I just think this is more and more not a game like me, not a game for me. But this,
I can see this being just it's not a Masters of the League. Imagine, let's do a Masters of the League on this. It's not a Masters of the League game where you want to play it for seasons, but it's definitely a game that I could see myself just picking up, playing, having a bit of fun, and dropping out.
Yeah.
I mean, the online season stuff that's for people that are going to take it a bit more seriously and play, but that's not for me.
No,
so the casual.
This is definitely stuff that you'll be playing upstairs with everybody else and stuff, and having a good time doing it. But I have throwing this back onto the fire again. I have just been burnt with Mario Golf. I thought that was going to be a hell of a lot better than it was, considering I think the older versions of Mario Golf were better than what we got with this one. So my expectations are middle of the road. I'm not expecting the world. Again, after the golf one, especially where I am a golf guy. I absolutely adore those games. I love the golf as a whole, but I just don't think that game had enough substance to keep you playing long term. This, having a wide span multiplayer option on there, that will keep you being able to want to play this game. That's something that the Mario Golf didn't have. It didn't have a proper leaderboard. It didn't have a proper experience system and stuff for you to be able to level up and get new clubs and get new attires and stuff like that, which is a crying shame because it could have done a lot better. But hopefully this is going to be something a little bit different.
It was interesting because I saw a lot of people hyped for Mario Golf, but I instantly this morning, as soon as I heard like a rumbling of Mario Strikers, I remember seeing people like Rich Lee and yourself and everyone going, yeah, okay, Mario Golf is cool, but have you ever played Mario Strikers? And it's like this is the game that we want, and to see it actually being announced within is it 12 months or is it 6 months since Golf came out? I can't even remember. Within the last year, anyway. Yeah. So to see it coming out, it's like Nintendo haven't been doing anything, but also clearly have been doing stuff as well at the same time, which is nice. Which is nice to see. Nightmare, welcome in, dude. He's
Afternoon.
I say he. Could be she. I don't know. You have said that most video game media is trash nowadays. Arguably, was always trash now, particular. Do you know? I agree and disagree. I think any form of media can arguably be trash and arguably not be trash. I think the issue with video game media these days is video game media was always. It was kind of captive audience to an extent. It wasn't captive by definition, but you'd have to go out and buy PlayStation Power, PSM 3 or Nintendo 64 mag or whatever. So you had to buy the mags. So to keep your purchases coming, they had to put good quality content into those mags. And that doesn't really transition to modern day media in terms of they've got YouTube and magazines and digital magazines and Twitch and everything else fighting for your eyes. So now video game news is a bit more clickbait.
Yeah, it's more hate bait than anything.
Yeah, exactly. Which is horrible to see. But that's where VGC is decent. It's run by, I always say his name wrong. Is it Andy Robinson or Andy Robertson?
I think it's Robinson.
Yeah,
I always get it wrong as well.
So
Not doing any,
Andy Robinson, long-term PR/journo, but he's got the likes of people like Chris Scullion, who can rattle a few cages himself. Jordan Midler and the likes at VGC. Tom Ivan's like always producing the news as well. So they've got some good journalists that have been around, and even I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before, Jordan Midler was actually on the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show, and he was kind of giving a summary of what VGC, their aims is to drop in, give you the news, give you the facts, get out, and not give you the opinions and stuff with it, which is what I like.
That's what you want. You want middle of the ground stuff. Fair enough if you want to use your own Twitter profile to put your opinion forward, but when it comes down to the news, you've got to take your emotion out of it.
I mean,
it should just be give you the facts, and there you go.
Opinion piece, fair enough. News is not opinion. News is fact. Opinion is emotive attachment to fact, and that's the difference, and they're very good at keeping it separate. So yes, I would say there is a lot of stuff out there. Do you know what? I'm really disappointed in IGN and GameSpot's content compared to things like VGC. Like GameSpot in particular, they closed down GameSpot UK. The UK team moved to America. That's why Timur Hussain, Lucy James and stuff live in the US now. They produce content for GameSpot over there. And the GameSpot website is very much your traditional clickbait news site. It's not even, most of the time, it's not even about games or even movies. It's about fad trend stuff. And it's just like... Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. So I get my news from NGB now. Same.
I wish they had more people working for NGB so that they could put out as much content as the likes of VGC and GameSpot. Obviously GameSpot used to do,
and that's the only difference. Is NGB is obviously I don't like to use the word volunteer sites because a lot of people see volunteer sites as quite negative, almost like, oh, it's just a volunteer site. But what NGB does is volunteer to the nth degree in terms of its next level sort of stuff, whereas VGC is funded, it's paid for, they've got revenue streams, be that's just advertising or what, but they earn from it, so they can afford to do that all day every day. What NGB does in their spare time is world class. So GG's. Okay, jumping back. I loved Advanced Wars, says West. I don't even know what it is. Completely no idea. You'll have to give us a breakdown, West. I'm all over the shop. I'll buy this again. Love No Man's Sky. And No Man's Sky has no gameplay as far as I know. What? Is it just cutscenes?
I think that's a bit of a piss take.
I was going to say.
I think he's winding you up there.
G, are you shaming Bibbe? What he chooses to wear at the weekend is entirely up to him if he wants to wear sexy lingerie. Who are we to question him? I wasn't shaming him.
It's nearly Valentine's Day. That's all I'm saying.
It's when he wears it to work. That's when it becomes a problem.
I'm wearing no pants right now.
Switch is a pretty weak console, slightly less powerful than PS4, but it's portable. So GG, that's true. Some clothes are designed for some people. This game looks awful. The last Mario football game was the exact same. It doesn't seem to evolve much apart from the clothing part. Maybe we need to see some more first. Mario Golf was horrible. I was hugely gutted. Says ads, which is pretty much an echo of what Bibby's just said. Only Bibby fans.
Yeah.
NGB. It's in the game. Nice. Okay, next up. So we've just talked about Mario Strikers. On your screen now, you can see, as expected, Nintendo Switch exclusive Splatoon 3 got a new trailer. Below, it's due out in the summer. Are you a Splatoon fan?
Do you know what? I've never played it. I have never played it whatsoever. Has it piqued my interest previously? Yes. Am I going to go out and buy it? No. I do like the idea of it. I like the fact that you need to go in and you claim your territory, and like the overall the people with the most territory wins at the end of it. I think that's quite a good online element to it. But apart from that, I don't know much about it at all. But it must be doing well if they're on the third game. And people still want it. We've
played it. Me, Danielle, and Chloe, and it was okay. It's a family shooter basically. It's imagine Call of Duty, but change away the guns for Nerf guns and or paintball guns. I suppose that's what it is. It was okay. I'm not going to play it. It's not for me.
Yeah.
It's if I'm playing a family game, I would rather play Mario Kart. If I'm playing a shooter, I would rather play.
Overcooked.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if I want to destroy my family, I would play it. Although we've lasted through it. Moving ahead, here's another surprise. Nintendo announced a Front Mission First remake due out in the summer. A sequel is due out at some point in the future. Front Mission First. Have you played that?
Never heard of it.
It's a Square Enix game. This is absolutely brand new to me. Looks good.
Again, for a Switch game. I mean, when we talk about graphics for a Switch game, do we always have to declare like this is good for a Switch game? Like, do we have to announce that every single time, or can we just across the board know what the Switch is capable of and say whether or not it's a good looking game?
I mean, it could just be video sequences, but I do get you saying. I mean, it could be worse. It could be a mobile game developed by someone like Gameloft or something. Which leads us on to the reason I say that is because we spoke about that when we were in here on Tuesday. Like, we're talking about how mobile games have advanced, and we verbally name-checked Gameloft, saying, do you remember when Gameloft were a thing? They used to make games like the horrible stuff, like we were like taking the piss, like Call of Warfare and stuff like that. Knockoffs. Not Football Manager, but Manager of Football.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, next we have Disney Speedstorm, a free-to-play cross-platform Disney Pixar racer with online modes. This is out in the summer. And it's developed by Gameloft, so they clearly are still around and doing things. And it actually looks much, much better than I expected.
This bit that's coming up now, it looks decent. Look at it has depth to it, which I'm not ashamed to say. I am a little bit ashamed to say that I wasn't expecting. But when you look at games like Asphalt, which is massive, like that is a huge racing game that is obviously available on the Switch as well. Like, I shouldn't be surprised, but that little 4-second clip that you get to see right at the very end of how the battle system is going to be while you're racing your cars, like, it looks cool. Like, this is a live service free-to-play Disney game. Now, it's going to be free-to-play for a reason, because they are going to get money from you elsewhere, whether or not, like you mentioned this morning, they might have like a Star Wars tie-in somewhere, or if there's a new Disney film that's going to be coming out, they might have those characters that are ready and available for you to be able to tie in and to take £3 or £4 from you here and there. Whether or not the cars and the characters have their own stats and things like that, I don't know. If it's just going to be like Fortnite where it doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, for a free-to-play racing game, I think it looks really good. I think they've done a good job with it.
The only thing I would say, to throw in a caveat, is that 4-second clip could be like the most clip-friendly segment of the game. So it could be just like...
Absolutely.
And like a marble going across a glass table. No movement of your cars, no juddering, no bouncing. Whereas that was jump... swirly thing above the head, whirlwind effect, enemies getting trashed all within a couple of seconds, and it was gone. But it looks good. From that clip, pleasantly surprised by that. But other than that, also apprehensive in terms of we'll see. If Disney can bring out a rival to Mario Kart, then that is what we need, because Mario Kart has had nothing. Has had nothing for too long. So some competition for Mario Kart is what we need. But anyway, sticking with Disney, which is exactly what it says in the article, I didn't realise. Nintendo announced a Switch port of the Wii version of Star Wars The Force Unleashed. It's out on the 20th of April. Do you know what? This game, I would full-on recommend anyone play this. Loved the Star Wars Force Unleashed game back on the PS1. Look at that. We've seen Vader. We've seen... I've completely forgotten his name now. He's just there again. What's it called? Darth Maul. There we go. Well done, babe. Nice. Sarlacc and more. So, yeah. Nice. Do feel free to help yourself to Force Unleashed. If you haven't played it, I would recommend it. I don't know what it would be like. I mean, I wouldn't play this. I must admit, I will not be playing this, because seeing Starkiller's face...
Not even with using the Joy-Cons as a lightsaber?
Nah, that's a bit gimmicky for me. I'm not, like... I don't... Because if it was, like, full-on VR, if I knew that me holding my hand and turning it around on itself as I... Nice.
Like Vader VR?
Yeah, but if I'm going, like... I was like, I can just do that with my thumb on a stick.
See, I'd love to be able to play Skyrim VR, but you can use the Joy-Cons in Skyrim on the Switch like you would in VR, but they're just not as receptive.
Pippi just sat there with his helmet on. Leave me alone, I'm playing Skyrim.
They'd write him a chainmail and a tunic or whatever they're called. That'd be fantastic, that, wouldn't it? Bo Avenue's arrived again.
Moving ahead, continuing the ports. Nintendo confirmed Assassin's Creed the Ezio Collection, which is due out on the 17th of February. It includes the HD Rumble and touchscreen control. Next, SD Gundam Battle Alliance is due out on Nintendo Switch at some point this year. So if you're a Gundam fan, well, there you go. Big spacey robots. Although not quite big spacey, it's like tiny versions of spacey. It's like Gundams.
A boil wash.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, it's like the Lego equivalent, but that's it. Yeah, you've just been in the wash. That's it. 100% shrunk. Oh no.
I've never been a Gundam fan, have you?
Nah, it's not for me. I don't know if Chaos Riot Zero is here. I seem to remember him saying he was, but I could be absolutely putting words in his mouth. So
I do apologise, by the way, if anyone thinks that they're getting Discord notifications. It is absolutely 110% our Discord server that is getting the notifications. So, yeah.
Yeah, God damn it. God damn it. It's like me streaming with WhatsApp on the other day and people kept checking the phone. Sorry. So this one's exciting. These are the words of the article, not mine. Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers Edition, was revealed and is coming to Switch on the 7th of April. You can turn off enemy encounters and there's an enhanced soundtrack. Is this exciting for you, Bib?
No, but I know Chrono Cross is like a massive, massive IP. So, yeah, I imagine there's going to be a lot of people that are super excited about this. I seem to have come away now from the turn-based JRPG games. I've just fallen out with them a little bit.
All of the Discord notification. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, no. I need to mute my laptop, but
I've just done mine as well.
I don't. Can I do it with this? Yep. Okay. So you can listen if you wanted to know what I was listening to.
Nymphamphetamine fix.
Yeah.
You
Bit of Cradle of Filth.
You listen to your Nympho stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fantastic song if those of you that actually like Cradle of Filth, but if you don't, then you're probably going to hate it. But you're not going to wear any Discord notifications now.
Okay. Chrono Cross, if that's your thing, that's coming. If it's not, but Kirby's your thing, well, there's more of that. So as you'd expect, Nintendo spent some time showing off Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which is due out on the 25th of March. Nintendo revealed a new mouthful mode, which lets Kirby inhale a car, a cone, a vending machine, and more for new transformations. So if you're a Kirby fan, then you know you got new activity. If you're not a Kirby fan and you want something different to play, then there you go. Nice little platformer sort of thing. Look at that! Mouthful mode!
I know Jay likes it. Jay loves a bit of Kirby.
I see. Kirby is a game that reminds me of old school stuff. I've not played, like, Kirby's had a few like recent remakes and stuff, but Kirby is 80s level for me in terms of. I remember me and David playing Kirby at like a family friend's house when we were tiny, and that's kind of where it sits for me. So Kirby remains in the past for me. This won't be another one that I play, but it's more activities from Nintendo. I do like to see Nintendo sticking to old school games. Kirby's now a condom.
Say, look, apparently there's a vending machine. It just like a boiler.
It did look like a boiler, to be fair. Moving ahead, Nintendo pushed the recently revealed MLB The Show 22, which is due out on Nintendo Switch for the first time. So MLB The Show went from PlayStation to Xbox and is now dropping on to a Nintendo Switch as well. So if you're a baseball fan and you do want games, sports games are a thing, not just remakes of the previous FIFA year upon year upon year upon year, but you can play some baseball too.
You a fan of baseball?
Ish. I'm a fan of the idea of baseball. I'm a fan of the idea of all American sports, really. Ice hockey, baseball, basketball, American football. Do I not play any of them? Nope. So
it's just rounders, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's overarm rounders. The ball at you a little bit faster. You hit that like a cricket ball then.
The graphics look good for a Switch on this, though. I know it's obviously it's arena-based gameplay, but it still looks decent. It in my mind, Switch is, like I say, are a step up above mobile. It's like playing on my not my Vita, my PSP-ish kind of stuff. So when I'm seeing those graphics, it looked nice and polished. Better than I expected. Still probably not going to play it, but I'm not a Switch player. But there you go. Next, the pricey Kingdom Hearts Integrum Masterpiece, which is due out on the Switch in cloud form. Check out what Digital Foundry thinks about that. And then Klonoa 1 and 2 are coming to Switch on the 8th of July as the Fantasy Reverie series. Do you know what Klonoa is?
I have no idea, but if that's obviously what I'm looking at here, it just looks like a very cutesy platformer.
It just looked like if Tails was a skunk.
Mm-hmm.
It was Tails with a different colour scheme. Now, stuff that starts to get my attention a little bit more. Another surprise. Portal, the Companion Collection, which includes Portal 1 and 2, hits the Switch this year. Did you expect this?
Do you know what? Why not? Because these games are so old now. So why not? They'd be a perfect port. I think Portal's on probably everything, including the name. So
just ported.
Yeah.
Changed its name from Portal to Ported.
It's the second one's brilliant. It's Stephen Merchant. I can't remember the name of the little thing that flies around.
Margaret.
Yes.
Margaret.
Your little companion, and it's Stephen Merchant. He is hilarious. I mean, I love Stephen Merchant anyway, but they are good games. Very frustrating games if you are a little bit dense like me, but on the whole, they are good games if you can get it, if you like those types of things.
That's not it for the remakes, though. There is also a remake of Live Alive, which is due out on the 22nd of July. Remake? I didn't even know what the make was. So Nintendo doing well. They've got a big old bag to drop into Wheatley.
That's it. That's what it's called. Yeah.
So Nintendo got a big old bag to drop into. So nice. Another remake actually looks pretty good. If I'm going to be honest, that does actually look pretty.
Do you like the art style?
Ish. I do. I like to see the art style, but I don't want to play it. So my playable experiences, I want like more 3D, first person, third person, not flat. That said, when I jump into a game like that, I enjoy it. Streets of Rage-ish, for example. So yeah. You need to convince me to get into it, and then I have fun.
Very good. I do like a good pixel art game.
Moving away from pixel art, here's Nintendo Switch Sports.
Yes!
Oof. The next game in the incredibly popular Wii Sports series. Volleyball is a brand new sport for the series. It's due out on the 29th of April. There's an online playtest due out before launch, only for those with an active Nintendo Switch online subscription. It runs from the 18th to the 20th of February, so that's like 8 days from now kind of thing. You going to jump on and play some Nintendo Switch?
I'm going to buy the game. I'm probably not going to play in the playtest because time escapes me nowadays. But I love the original Nintendo Switch Sport, the Nintendo Wii Sports. I absolutely love it. I mean, there's no enthusiasm by the woman playing this. I'm sorry, but where's I want to see sweat as you're playing these games.
I mean, you've played this with I remember playing bowling on the Wii with my mate's mum and dad. Like, they were like, have you played the bowling on the Wii? I was like, no, I've not got a Wii. She's like, oh, we always play bowling. So I was like, oh, it's my mate's mum and dad. I'm gonna kick their ass, but it's their game, so I won't try very hard. So I go up and I'm like bowling like her, like and then my mate Foster's mum goes,
he gets the glove on, the oversized shirt,
and I was like, okay. So my next one, I'm like, ah!
Well, look at all the enthusiasm of Anthony Martial there. Do you know what I mean? But this, I love Wii Sports. I love little gimmicky games like this, party games, family games. This for me is what the Switch and the Wii was made for. So yeah, I'm definitely 110%. I'm in. I'm buying this game. The fact they've got badminton in there as well is cool. The football, I'll be honest, I am probably never going to play. I think that probably the football looks the word. This is Rocket League for me. It's literally a carbon copy of Rocket League. I will never play this. This looks boring to me.
I'd play this because I can imagine like if I was playing this on my own, probably not. But I can see this game being me and Danielle putting it on the TV and just
fast enough,
dicking about in the living room kind of thing. But
if it was sped up, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, this would definitely be better. Playing badminton or tennis would definitely be the better option. Mm-hmm. And I'm playing this after a few beers, me and Daniel in the living room, like putting the windows through kind of thing. It'll launch in the Wii Joy-Con, the Switch Joy-Cons. Then yeah, I can. This one, out of all of the games so far, this is the one that I would see me playing the most.
Mm-hmm. This for me is summer party back garden. Bring a TV out and get everyone playing in the back garden.
Can't see it though; it's a bit dark.
Anti-glare, mate. Get it under gazebo. But yeah, I love these. I love little party games like this, and this is definitely one that I mean, Bowl to survive. Having all these people, obviously, this is all online. You can't have that many Joy-Cons attached to it. So, a little battle royale in bowling. It's mixing it up, taking a very successful formula, and pretty much why people bought a Wii in the first place, because you and Nan wanted to do a bit of yoga in the front room and then get the family around to play a bit of Wii bowling later on. This is what the games were made for, the proper family fun, and I can't wait to play it.
This is full on being parties up and down the country. I mean, I remember when the Wii was out, I worked in a financial services firm, and like as a team building day, they had like Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games kind of thing, and like it was a company, essentially an events company, one of those games company, come in, set up like 5 consoles, and the whole business was just like, oh, we're going to play some video games. We're all serious financial people. 20 minutes later, fucking ties tied around their head and everything, people taking it proper serious.
Yeah. Did you see that then looked class? They're adding golf to it later on in the year, but it's a world away from what Wii Golf looked like. It actually looks really good.
Golf to be added this fall.
That actually looks better than Mario Golf.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like a subtle apology. Like, finally, says Ad, Switch Sports. Bowling Battle Royale is amazing, says Chaos Right Zero. Tazebad says, my wife said she needs a free hat, COVID lung infection, and me at the same time.
I mean, putting up with you probably deserves the hat, so we'll send the hat over to her, not you.
Yeah, well, absolutely for free. We've just got to give you the postage costs, which is about £17.
Free of charge, but you pay shipping.
Ish. I mean, obviously, the shipping costs vary a little, so we'll have to see. It's probably going to be about $30 each, for free of charge, obviously. Okay, next up was Taiko no Tatsujin. I probably butchered that, but okay. Rhythm Festival, which is coming to Switch this year. Do you know what? I'm going to scroll past that one. Triangle Strategy got a moment during the Direct. There's a new demo out now. There's a video for that, but it doesn't say anything about it. I don't know what it is, so I have no context, so I'm just going to keep going. And then I'm assuming there's supposed to be an embed here, because it says, here's Cuphead, the delicious last course which hit Switch on June the 30th. But there is no Cuphead, so it's not there. But Cuphead, the delicious last course, did get announced. If you're a Metroid Dread fan, which a lot of people are, it was up there with Game of the Year conversations. A free update is out now for Metroid Dread, which adds the Dread mode one-hit difficulty and the new Rookie difficulty, which makes things easy. A separate upcoming new mode due out in April adds Boss Rush Battle. Why can I not say boss? And then another word that has a different form of S in it. Xbox Bosh. So we've got an April Bosch, adds Bosch, and an Xbox Boss. Anyway, so Metroid Dread update coming later in the year. This is a big one for a lot of people that are old school gamers. I didn't know this. I was having a conversation on this a few weeks back. So there is a game called Eastward, which is based on Earthbound. Earthbound was an old school game. I think NES maybe. So we got NES we got Earthbound in the UK, which was Mother in Japan. And we never got Mother 2, and then there was a Mother 3. Mark was telling me upstairs that Mother 3 had some controversial storylines. He didn't go into what it was, but it sounded like that was probably never going to get released because it was just a bit okay. So anyway, either way, we've got Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings coming too. So old school gamers, I think it's the same sort of pixel art as we'd seen in previous games. Going to give us a 40-second advert out. So
I hate it so much.
So these games are coming to Switch. If you do like your old school NES style pixel art games, then this one probably would be for you. Apparently the story in it is really, really good. So if you're into that, fill your boots. Let's have a look now. That Dread mode looks brutal. So Dread mode, is that the one hit one? So you take one hit and it's dead. Game over. In fucking Metroid Dread, that's just instant game over for me all the way through. Next, after Earthbound, we get onto something that is incredibly exciting and incredibly long overdue. But perhaps the biggest announcement of the Nintendo Direct was paid DLC courses for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The Booster Course Pack includes some courses from past Mario Kart games. 8 courses will be released at a time over 6 waves, ending in 2023. Is that because it's good to release them, or just to spread it out to make it seem like there's more? That's what it is. I mean, just release them all at the same time. But anyway, that's a total of 48 new courses. The first launches on the 18th of March. Those who paid who have a paid Nintendo Switch Online and expansion pack membership get the DLC at no extra cost. So if you're a Mario Kart fan, which I imagine a lot of people are. If you own Mario Kart, which I imagine every single person that owns a Switch does because they just give it you, then do you know what? You've got yourself a very, very good game. It's a quality game for the Switch. Deserves to be up there with the most sold games on the Switch, absolutely. It's taken a long time to get some content. I mean, Mario Kart 8 is a Wii game, not a Switch game. So the fact that we're only just getting content for it now, a little bit overdue. But do you know what? 48 different courses. We were having a conversation on it earlier on. Someone, was it Tom, was posing that it might actually just be 24 courses but mirrored. And then Luke was like, actually, you get 48 courses already. And then they are mirrored, which takes it up from that to 96. So in that theory, this should be 96 courses if you get your 48 plus mirrored. Yeah. But we'll see how the cookie crumbles on that one. Chaos Riot Zero says, hell yes. More Mario Kart. Yeah,
I mean, this is definitely to starve off the Mario Kart 9 rumours and stuff like that. The fact that it's going to be another year, well, 18 months. If it says by the end of 2023, that's nearly 2 years.
See, so this kind of makes me more inclined that there is a Mario Kart 9 coming. The reason for that being is remaking old game maps that already exist, and it's not really intensive in terms of the grand scheme of things to build maps. They've got all the physics of the vehicles and everything made for 2 different systems, I might add. So making the courses is probably not the most intensive part of the work, but they're feeding that out over the next 18 months. I wouldn't be surprised if all 48 of those maps exist already, and they're just going, well, there's 8.
Yeah.
And there's 8 more. Oh, there's 8 more. And the reason they're doing that is because it's something they can spread out for 18 months while the development team are already finished and are now working on Super Mario Kart, Mario Kart 9 or Deluxe 9 or whatever they're going to call it. 9, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Mario Kart 9 is currently heavily in production and these booster course pass stuff has been done. It's just a way of filling the gap nicely. Not a big fan of the drop it out a bit at a time in the same sort of way that they did with the fighters in Smash Brothers. Oh, we'll do some Nintendo Directs and there's a new Smash Brothers character because by the end it became a meme. It was like, oh great, more Smash Brothers. When it was good characters, like yeah. But when it wasn't, it was like, is that it?
Definitely not to drive it into the ground. But the thing is, they're giving you more content for a game that you already have for £20, 48 new race courses. That's
it is 5. It is 5 different content drops, and if you do play this game consistently, then those 8 content drops. If it's over the next 16 months, then what's that? That's like every 3 and a bit months ish. So every 3 months there'll be new maps. So 3 months that's quite a good chunk of time. If you are still playing this game consistently, that's 8 maps in that time period. Naturally, you'll start to get bored after a month or 2-ish. So then you've got a month of okay, I'm becoming a professional at every single inch of the and then you get 8 more maps. So it's not bad in that sort of sense. It's definitely decent value. And plugs the gap before Mario Kart 9. Anyway,
Dad says where is Screwfix in the UK? They're all over the place.
All over.
Every road corner.
Absolutely everywhere. The Nintendo Direct then ended with the announcement of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, due out this September. What I will say is, going through this article, we've got content coming over the next 18 months for Mario Kart. We've got games coming out in March. We've got some things coming out in April. This coming out in September. There is a steady stream of content for the Nintendo Switch. So one thing that stuck in my mind when getting the Switch is there wasn't much games coming out for it. There wasn't really a lot of third-party stuff. And the third-party stuff is starting to come over a bit more thick and fast. But there is so much content just coming from Nintendo themselves that it's absolute. Look at how beautiful that looks.
That looks class.
It's not a game I've played, and I think this is something Jordan has spoken about before in the past Xenoblade Chronicles. I think Jordan is a Xenoblade Chronicles person, but this just looks gorgeous. Even and that's me saying, even for a Switch game, taking that away, it looks gorgeous anyway. Probably not for me. but still beautiful. So, GG's. And then that's your lot. There were a few games that were rumoured for this Nintendo Direct that didn't show up. Internet rumblings had suggested Mario Kart 9 would make an appearance. Not going to happen when you've just got a full Mega Pass for 8. But clearly Nintendo's going down the Mario Kart 8 DLC route instead for the next couple of years at least. Unfortunately, we didn't get a glimpse at The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, which is still slated for release in 2022. Nor did we see the long in development Metroid Prime 4, which, let's remember, was announced in 2017. So only 5 years ago then. Just 5 years, actually.
Just 5 years, actually.
Apart from Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings, there was no mention of additional games for the SNES, NES, N64/Sega service either. And no, there was no new F-Zero. That one's still in the shop. What did you think of the Nintendo Direct? Anything take your fancy? Is a question posed by Wesley Yin-Poole at Eurogamer. Yes, there wasn't the games. Let's go over them again. So there wasn't Mario Kart 9. There wasn't Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. There wasn't Metroid Prime 4. And there was no F-Zero. But for me, there was an absolute wedge of content in this, and that still leaves space for another 5 big games to be announced over the course of the year. People are pissed. Why? That's great news for me. I mean, that's wanting to have your cake and eat it. Do you know what? Your cake's still in the oven. At the moment, you've got yourself some nice brownies and a couple of biscuits and a packet of crisps or something to keep yourself tied over, and before the cake lands. That's good for me.
Yeah, I think that's a very strong show. And being honest, like again, we said yesterday, the expectations for this, they don't necessarily have to be at 0, but they have to be enough for you to be entertained. That's what you want from a show. And obviously, I didn't watch this live yesterday because it was on at 10 a.m. and I was well asleep by then. But
10 p.m.
Sorry, 10 p.m. Yeah, I was asleep at 10 a.m. yesterday. That's why I went live when we went live. Like, but yeah, I was asleep by then. So when I got up this morning, I've come into work and I've started to pull the news together and stuff like that. I'm getting excited as if I was watching it live. But yeah, it's a very entertaining show even after the fact. So if I was to give it a rad or bad, as they put on Eurogamer, I'd definitely say that's a rad.
Yeah, I think it was good. I think it was a strong show. Case Zero, by the way, just asked. I see uploads Mario Kart Tourney when, so I've just responded with my Dixie Wrecked clip. There has been a Mario Kart Tourney in the past, actually. I think I did casting on it. I didn't take part in it because I'd never played Mario Kart on
Internal?
internally. Yeah. It was Luke, Jack, Dan, and maybe Bridie. I can't remember. It was there was a tournament anyway. I think it might even be on our YouTube. I don't know whether we actually streamed it. I think it was straight to YouTube for us. But at that sort of time, 4 years ago, is where this clip is from. My Dixie Wrecked.
I wonder if this is going to come through the stream. If not, you'll be able to wait through this. Oh, one game for him. You might be able to hear this.
Say this out loud. My Dixie Wrecked.
My Dixie wrecked. My Dixie wrecked. My Dixie wrecked. My Dixie wrecked.
I love how Luke commits to going for it.
My Dixie wrecked. Another 2 out of 10.
Another 2 out of 10. Famous last words.
It doesn't realise he's just talking about my Dixie Wrecked.
My Dixie Wrecked.
He's like, he's because Dan said it afterwards. He came upstairs. He was like, I didn't get it. He wrecked. That's what I had in my Dix. He wrecked. Why did he wreck them? It's like, no, that's not what you're saying. That's not what you're saying. That's not what you're saying. My Dixie wrecked. So yeah, we have done. Oh, wrong one. We have done, and I see uploads Mario Kart Tourney before, but maybe it is time for another one. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. We'll have to do some sort of viewer game stuff with it as well. I think loot some other people in potentially. Nice. Okay, we're not going to spend too long on this, but everything Nintendo Direct, that is the full recap of what happened in last night's show. Is there anything that stands out to you? Anything in particular that tickles your fancy that's not Switch Sports? Because that's what you were going to say, because I'm taking that one. Get off, it's mine.
Yeah, the more Mario Kart stuff. I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles, I've never played the other 2 beforehand. It could be that they've got like another 7 of them that have had spin-offs that I've never come across before, but yeah, I mean that looks that looked decent to me. Live Alive Live Alive?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Live alive, live alive, live alive.
That looks okay. I probably won't play Portal again. I've done that once. I don't need to be frustrated by it again. Gundam, definitely not. Star Wars, no. The Disney free-to-play game, absolutely. I'm definitely going to give that a try. Why not? It's free-to-play. Splatoon 3, absolutely not. Mario Strikers, of course. I think that's the biggest one for me out of all of this. That, as well as the game that you want to take. But Mario Strikers is definitely one that I want to be able to sink my teeth into and just have a good old time with.
It's good. We've got family, we've got sports, we've got casual sports. I mean, it's obviously Switch, so it's kind of all casual. But when I say casual, I mean you've got Switch sports, and then you've got Strikers.
Yeah.
Then you've got other sort of quality game ports with the likes of the No Man's Skies and the Star Wars Force Unleashed and stuff like that. There's a lot in there.
Of course, some hardcore JRPGs in there for the old school as well.
So it's full on Nintendo ticking off a bit of everything. So if you're pissed off with Nintendo with that, give your head a wobble. What? How can you be pissed off with that? Anyway, let's move ahead. Do you know what you could be pissed off? Speaking about games and being pissed off. Being pissed off if you're a PlayStation user and all of a sudden that Call of Duty that you've been playing on your PlayStation for the last 15, 20, 25 years, whatever it is, suddenly you can't play it on your PlayStation anymore.
Frustrating, that wouldn't it?
God.
That would be frustrating.
That would be frustrating, but it's all right because that's not what the case is. We have news, and I say we have news. What I mean is Andy Robinson at VGC has news that Microsoft claims it will continue. Let me change the pip. Continue to release Activision Blizzard games for PlayStation. I'll drop us down there. So Microsoft claims it will continue to release Activision Blizzard games for PlayStation. Call of Duty and more will continue to appear on rival platforms beyond existing agreements, but the body of the article says Microsoft has claimed it will continue to release Activision Blizzard games such as Call of Duty on PlayStation platforms beyond existing agreements. Activision Blizzard was reportedly committed to releasing at least the next 3 Call of Duty games for PlayStation consoles as part of a marketing agreement signed before its pending $69 billion acquisition by Xbox maker Microsoft. Let me stop for a second. Is it 68.7 billion? Is it 69 billion or is it 70 billion? If you're going to pick one number to run with games industry, choose one, because that's 3 different numbers. I know they're all in the same ballpark, but $1.3 billion is quite a lot of money to differentiate. Are we sticking it at 70 or 69 or 68? Which one is it? Pick one. Okay. 69... Giggity. $1 billion acquisition by Microsoft. Anyway, however, in a new blog published on Wednesday addressing Microsoft's future policies for where it releases its content, President Brad Smith indicated that at least some Activision Blizzard games would continue to release on the PlayStation into the future. Quotes. First, some commentators have asked whether we will continue to make popular content like Activision's Call of Duty available on competing platforms like Sony's PlayStation, he wrote. The obvious concern is that Microsoft could make this title available exclusively on the Xbox console, undermining opportunities for Sony PlayStation users. To be clear, Microsoft will continue to make Call of Duty and other popular Activision Blizzard titles available on PlayStation through the term of any existing agreement with Activision, and we have committed to Sony that we will also make them available on PlayStation beyond the existing agreement and into the future so that Sony fans can continue to enjoy the games they love. The exec added that Microsoft is, quote, also interested in taking similar steps to support Nintendo's successful platform. I love how they do that. Just call it the Switch. You are allowed to say what its name is, you know. Sony's platforms, Nintendo's successful platform. Okay, we know what it is. You know what it is.
He'll have one in his back pocket.
Yeah,
he'll literally have a Switch in his back pocket while he's having this conversation.
He concluded, "We believe this is the right thing for the industry, for gamers, and for our business." End quote. It's worth noting that Microsoft's statement stops short of committing to releasing all Activision Blizzard titles for PlayStation, so it could still keep some exclusives to Xbox, naturally. There is already some precedence for Microsoft continuing to release its games on rival platforms beyond... Do you know what? We can stop there. It's talking about Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop being out, and then Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 being exclusives and stuff like that. We know the context of that, so we don't need to go into that sort of stuff. But good signs. Good signs. We did see good guy Xbox turn into a little bit snaky guy Xbox with Phil Spencer, the Xbox boss, saying, do you know what? We're going to make games for all platforms and allow gamers to continue to play where they play. And yeah, you will continue to play the games that you play on the platforms that you play them on, but when they come to new games, then you don't play that already. So, sorry. We didn't really understand that Elder Scrolls 6 would just be ours. We thought Whereas Call of Duty, they've at least committed to say, do you know what? This is a truly cross-platform game, so it should be available cross-platform. That doesn't go ahead and say that there will be no exclusivity to Xbox, so they could have timed exclusive on release. It could be available for early access on Game Pass for a week.
Particular maps or campaigns or something like that.
Or it could just be down to the fact that it will cost you $79.99. They'll push it right up to the top end of that launch budget. Yeah, £80 to buy it for the PlayStation, but it's free, air quotes, on Xbox Game Pass if you're an Xbox user. So, I mean, it's up to you if you want to pay £80 for that one game, which is like 25% of the console costs, or you can just get it for free, air quotes again, on Game Pass. Excuse me. So I reckon I can see that being a thing. I can see that definitely being where they go. I do believe that, as this article mentions, there are things like Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. Let me actually put that on the screen. Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo that are on PlayStation because they were contractually obligated to be there. But then there's other things like Starfield, Redfall, and The Elder Scrolls 6, which aren't games that you feel have to be cross-platform.
Yeah.
Because in Elder Scrolls 6, there's probably some in-game purchases, but when you buy Elder Scrolls 6, you buy Elder Scrolls 6. Nice. When you buy Call of Duty, you buy Call of Duty, and you buy skins, and you buy the COD points, their version of V-Bucks. So there are in-app purchases and stuff that continue. And losing out to having Elder Scrolls 6 on PlayStation is them losing out on a purchase, but we'll make that back in Game Pass.
Yeah.
You don't get the same level as constant churn as you would from the entire Call of Duty user base. So it makes sense for Call of Duty to be available on PlayStation.
They've put all the infrastructure there for you to be able to have cross-play, so it doesn't matter what console you play on. You're able to play with your friends, so I can't see them doing that and say, it was cross-play, but the only way you can play it now is if you play it on Xbox. That makes no sense. And we mentioned before about them saying, well, money's money. How can they lose all of these sales from the Elder Scrolls? Because it doesn't matter to them. The money that they will potentially lose through that, they may end up getting back and subsiding with Game Pass. So I don't know. I've always the exclusivity thing will always baffle me because I've always been a stance of games for everyone available on everything, but I'm not a multi-billion-pound businessman, so I don't know all of the behind
all
the
right,
scenes
we're
stuff.
going to believe that. Maybe two Lambos over there. God.
I don't know what the full backstory and how they can still continue to make money from these particular games if they don't make them available on everything, but there must be a reason.
There was a lot of people that were passionately saying, well, Xbox are not going to spend $70 billion and keep it the same. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, but they're not going to spend $70 billion and cut off revenue streams. So they won't keep it the same. If Activision Blizzard, what have Blizzard done in the last 5 to 10 years apart from shat all over their legacy from the 10 years before? They've not really done anything, not pushing the envelope like they did in the 10 years before. So if Blizzard are now freed up to go off and be the creative powerhouse that they once were, their new titles, they're not going to come to PlayStation. And that's fine. That's when they will go, okay, we'll keep these as our exclusives. It's like PlayStation are not going to just suddenly make a brand new game and put it out on Xbox because some things has crossed over and so on. Okay, in that sort of instance, Blizzard's and Activision's new titles will...
I was just about to say, there was Overwatch. I'm sure that was Active Blizzard.
I mean,
is that going to be the case where Overwatch isn't going to be on PlayStation? Because I can't see that.
No, I think that one will still be on PlayStation. Overwatch, I'll give you that one. Overwatch is not kind of the angle that I was going for. I was
WoW Classic as well, but I fully understand what you mean. Like in terms of, I would say mass market because Overwatch was.
No, Overwatch was big. That is a good contract.
WoW Classic broke records all over the place again when they re-brought that out.
See that though, that's just a rehash. That's like dipping back into your one chance of earning money from the past. That's not really pushing anything. And even still, whilst it spiked, it's hemorrhaged a lot of players as of all sort of WoW stuff. And it's like, it's a remake and it's a reinvention rather than an evolution. What is the next phase? And I feel like when they hit their next phase, I think if they were to bring out a WoW Classic, that would be, let's say WoW Classic was available on PlayStation and Xbox. I think that would come out as a remake on PlayStation and Xbox. But if they make like WoW the Future, then that just comes out on Xbox. I know that's not technically right, but any new games, new brands, new IPs will come out. Overwatch, I think, is going to hit on PlayStation if that comes out. I wouldn't be surprised if that comes out on PlayStation, because Overwatch 2 was supposed to be some form of progress from Overwatch 1 anyway. You can continue your game and you can keep all of your purchases and stuff or something. There was some convoluted, hard to understand press release because they didn't really understand how it was going to work about 12 to 18 months ago. So that wouldn't surprise me if Overwatch is cross-platform, but then new stuff I think won't be. I think that's where the separation will be.
I think with Overwatch being an esports game as well, can you just have it on Xbox and not have it on PlayStation? Because that obviously they did that for Call of Duty, where it was just being played on playing on a PlayStation. I think you could qualify on the Xbox, but you'd have to play the finals on PlayStation. Then again, it was I think. Historically, that was the case, but this was only buy-ins, wasn't it? For the Call of Duty World Championships, you had to.
It was 25 million.
Yeah.
To be the LA Thieves and to be the London Spitfire or whatever.
Again, when it comes down to money, I will never understand it because I can't fathom a loss of revenue coming from a particular stream being cut off, but when we can't make these decisions because we don't know the inside out.
There's making revenue streams that don't exist, and you naturally would work to keep that within your own portfolio. Why would we strengthen someone else's army when we can just strengthen our own? But if you've got something that strengthens your army and takes from the other side as well at the same time, they're benefiting from it, but it makes you stronger, more stronger than them. You're still creating the gap of, okay, we are selling PlayStation users Call of Duty, we're selling Xbox users Call of Duty, PlayStation users are having fun, but that's fueling our fire to fight them again for the next one. It's not. It's a war is full of many little battles in that sort of space. I'd hate to use the war because we go back into the console war bullshit. But
Like the Elder Scrolls, it'll always baffle me, that kind of thing anyway, because there's way more PlayStations out in the wild than there is Xboxes. So why would you cut that revenue off? But they're hoping probably that people will maybe trade in their PlayStation if they've literally got one just to be able to play Elder Scrolls at any given point, to go and trade it in for an Xbox to be able to get that consumer.
I wonder how strong they feel that audience is, because like something like a Call of Duty, there are a lot of people that I mean, I'm kind of one of those players, but from a different game. There are a lot of people out there that just play Call of Duty. They don't play anything, or just play FIFA or whatever. They don't play anything else. That is their one game. And you can imagine that Call of Duty Steve will just go home, he'll fire up his PS4 and he'll play Call of Duty. He'll go to work, he'll come home, fire up his PS4 and he'll just play Call of Duty. He'll jump on with his mates or not with his mates, and he'll just be on Call of Duty. When it comes to getting his next console, he's like, oh, I've got a PS4. I would have got a PS5 already, but I've not been able to get one. If Xbox confirm, actually, it's going to be free on Game Pass on day one, Call of Duty Steve is suddenly going, well, I only play Call of Duty, and I can play it cross-party, cross-platform. Why don't I just get myself an Xbox then? Because I don't pay for it then. Yeah. And they're thinking, oh, well, okay, that's easy wins. So by the end of 2, 3, 4 years, a couple of Call of Duty titles, by the end of a full console generation, I imagine a lot of people will have just followed the game of their choice. And if that's the number 1 and 2 selling game in the world, or at least from whatever charts it was that were released at the end of December for last year, then that's a lot of people that will transition following that. I wonder if they feel like the same thing with Elder Scrolls, but whereas Call of Duty needs to be there, I wonder if they're just thinking, okay, there's a lot of people that will buy Elder Scrolls on every platform. But if we just make it available on Xbox, well, then they have to transition to us then.
It'll be on Xbox and PC. You'll be able to take your pick, and I'll probably buy them both.
Steve's a smart guy. The time for a bong in the chat says Xbox is going to win the battle of the consoles, and I'm glad I've changed teams.
I don't think they will. I mean, when it comes down to the console wars and stuff like that, again, I hate having this conversation and stuff like that, but what Xbox have done to their business in the last 3 or 4 years in terms of being customer first and all of the good things that they have done around that, it does make you wonder what it will take for them to try and overtake PlayStation, because they are still, even now we're in a new console generation, so far behind PlayStation in terms of consoles sold and having a player base out there. What do they have to do to literally make sure that, because the consoles are cheaper, there's more available now. If you go onto Amazon, you'll be able to pick up at least a Series S, if not an X. You can't get hold of a PlayStation 5 anyway, digital or disc. So
it is an interesting one though, because there was no fight in the last generation, none. I know Xbox users would like to think there was, because they enjoyed their time, which is great. That's what it's about. If you enjoy your time playing games, then there is no need for a war. You've had your happiness. That's what it's about. But if we're instigating this cross-platform war, there wasn't one. Just like there wasn't really for the majority of the generation before. Xbox 360 pissed all over PlayStation 3 until the end, when it clawed it back a little bit. It closed the gap, and then Xbox gave them a free run at the next generation, bizarrely. But Xbox are closing it back the other way. PlayStation are still in the lead. The only thing that changes that for me is how PlayStation react to this. I don't think that people going, they need to buy out and make their own exclusives and stuff. I just think PlayStation need to just release good games. And if they make better games more consistently, they win a generation again. It means if they make better games more consistently, Xbox go harder on the profitability side of things. And there is a tipping point. There is no possibility to use something without having to pay for it. You always have to pay the piper. And Xbox has spent $70 billion on this one acquisition. $80 billion if you include the Bethesda one before. So they have to make $80 billion back somewhere, and selling a too good to be true Game Pass deal, there's a tipping point somewhere, and that's the thing. So Xbox 100% are set up to use Time for a Bong's words, win the battle of the consoles. They are setting up to win a fight. But if that fight takes a little bit longer, then it becomes a harder fight. So I agree with him. I don't think they will win, but I don't think they will lose. What I do think is we have a fight which is potentially good for people, potentially not, because a fight is competition. Competition is good for the users, but competition could also mean that people start to do shit decisions to try and snatch ground, that's what I don't want.
If you can't make the games yourself, which they've had trouble doing, I mean, they're having massive trouble now with Halo. It was a fantastic game when it came out, but they're lacking content. Now, if you can't do it yourself, buy someone who'll do the games for you, and that's essentially what they've done. They've spray and pray. Activision Blizzard, what we're going to get with that? Okay, we'll take Bethesda as well, and look at all the games that they can pump out with all of their internal studios. Like, they have a lot of ground covered with this acquisition, and they've spent a hell of a lot of money as well. So, again, we're probably not going to see the fruits of this labour for probably the next 5 years, I don't think, because Elder Scrolls isn't coming out for a long time. I think it'll be a while before we see another Doom game. I can't see another Prey game coming anytime soon. So it's...
I mean,
what do you do?
The interesting thing is, I saw a comment about, Xbox didn't buy Activision Blizzard out of some strategic move to keep FPSs and so on like that. Xbox bought, I mean, this is obviously not me saying it as quote, this is the quote that I'm referencing. Xbox bought Activision Blizzard because they were affordable. Yeah. They were in trouble, so we're open. There was always the potential for them to be sold, and Xbox didn't want someone else, PlayStation, buying them. So Xbox bought them so that someone else didn't buy them to take them away from them. So if that's the case, then that's Xbox not being proactive; it's being reactive. It's still a very, very big acquisition, great for the user base, but it's also not the same sort of stance. That's buying them to halt progress of others, not necessarily to continue with your own progress. Yeah. It kind of adds to that, but it's not to the same extent. So
that's what Salty was saying there about Xbox making it ground in Japan. We actually covered something on that yesterday about Microsoft wanting to do that. I've just unplugged my microphone.
So yeah, Baby was saying we covered an article yesterday about Xbox wanted to progress in Japan, but there's basically a secret code of friends in Japan. All these business owners are all working together to make it sure that gaijins, outsiders, can't just come in and buy Japanese businesses. So some of the Square Enix board are on some of the Konami board, which are on some of the PlayStation board, which are on some of the other Japanese companies' board, Bandai Namco board, yeah. So they all sit on each other's boards, so that if someone comes in to buy it, then all the shareholders basically block any takeovers from outside businesses, which is why there has been 0 acquisitions of Japanese major developers. So, yeah. Xbox isn't making any ground. They won't be making any ground if that is the case when it comes to purchasing businesses, but before that, they haven't been making any ground either, Salty Dog. You are right. They have actually stopped selling. A lot of retailers have stopped selling Xbox consoles because of the lack of Japanese support after the initial sounds, which Enix UK, Jordan, big Xbox guy, actually gave that news to us about he was following the news of Xbox in Japan, and yeah, certain retailers have just gone, okay, there's not enough going on from an Xbox world, at least from a Japanese perspective. You're just using up shelf space. We're not getting the stock. Let's get rid. So some retailers have stopped selling Xbox. So it's great, and it's also not great at the same time. So yeah, that's the multifaceted argument in response to Time for a Bong's comment, which is a great comment. It's the fact that Xbox are going to win the console, the battle of the consoles. I wouldn't say that. I would say they are trying to win the battle of the consoles. And yeah, arguably they were trying to win it last generation. They just didn't do a very good job of it. This time they're doing a better job of it. Steve's a smart guy because Call of Duty Steve buying his Xbox next. I went to PlayStation after Ring of Death back in the day. Do you know what? Same. Well, not same. I had a PlayStation. I had a PS3 and an Xbox 360, and I got a PS4 and an Xbox One. I've got a PS5, and I will get a Series X at some point. So I will get both, but yeah, the Xbox 360 generation was painful for me in terms of new consoles and stuff. But yeah, sorry, gents, we'll catch the vlog. Feeling rough, I needed to sleep. No worries, timeless. You get your rest, dude. You can always watch it on YouTube and drop a comment like you have done before, and we'll respond to you because we're lovely like that. Noob Cream uploads. Hey, Jenkins! The annoying thing is we get Jenkins 201, Jenkins 202, Jenkins 203 in the chat, and I didn't see just how good that was until you put your laptop on the screen and saw it in the chat. It's like full-on Jenkins shares. Look at how cool is that!
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Beautiful. I am the Brute. Came over from Hover to show some love. What a guy.
Hey, thank you very much.
What a guy. We appreciate that. If anyone else wants to, do feel free to check out Hover. Ice Cream Uploads are on Hover. Hover.gg/Ice Cream Uploads. Bibby's copying the link to drop it into the chat for you. We do have it set up as a chatbot command at home, but not in the studio yet. So there is the link. Do feel free to go on. GG like everything you can. We'll let you. Just this time. Okay, go on. Drop a G. Nice. I am the Brute. Thank you very much for dropping the follow as well. We appreciate that. So we're just about to wrap things up, but we've been talking about Game Pass, Xbox doing great things to win the console war. There's actually one little caveat to jump back into there. Do you know what? Xbox are doing great things to win the console war, but what might be great for them might not be great for everyone else. I'll change our pit position again. Let's get us over this side this time. So indie devs are worried about the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard deal, can't afford to compete with Game Pass. This is written by RHIANNON BEVAN at The Gamer. The tagline says, as Game Pass becomes even more powerful, indie devs are worried they'll have no choice but to be on it. So indie devs, including the creator of Boyfriend Dungeon, which has actually been streamed on this channel, by the way. Bridie streamed that back in the day. She played Boyfriend Dungeon and Pigeon Dating Simulator or something like that in quick succession.
Very, very, very Bridie games.
Yeah, 100%. So indie devs, including the creator of Boyfriend Dungeon, are speaking out about their concerns following the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard merger. They fear that indie devs who do not release their work on Game Pass won't be able to compete with the industry giant, describing the pricing of games as a race to the bottom. While Game Pass has helped indie titles reach a wider audience, some worry for the games that don't get approval to launch on the service. Boyfriend Dungeon developer Tanya Short says that the recent Microsoft deal strikes fear in the community, worrying that this could leave riskier, quirky games unable to reach an audience. Speaking to the BBC, Short is particularly worried that this will leave big companies with a total monopoly on every major launch window in the year. Quote, this Activision acquisition strikes fear in us because it makes it so much more obvious. Maybe they could dominate the rest of the year. And then what do? She says. This is echoed by Yura Zadanovic, a developer behind indie cyberpunk game Replaced, which looks badass, by the way. He is concerned about the fate of indie titles that don't make it onto Game Pass and how this cheaper way of gaming makes audiences less willing to spend money on smaller games. quote, conceivably, indie games outside of these services, i.e. Game Pass, might lose engagement as subscribers focus most of their attention on games that they can access for free within the service, Zadanovic says. People are prepared to spend $1,000 on a telephone and then get very offended if you ask them to pay $4.99 for a game, which is fucking true.
Yeah, never a truest spoken word.
So the BBC also spoke to a representative from Microsoft, Sarah Bond. She says that Game Pass will continue to benefit indie developers, and as internal data suggests, that is, it encourages players to try games they wouldn't usually pick. She says that 60% of Human Fall Flat players have never played a puzzle game before, and 40% of them went on to pick up another puzzle title outside Game Pass. It's also worth noting that Game Pass has previously been praised for its indie game support. Back in 2019, the developer of Descenders was surprised to see the title reach 600,000 players via Game Pass, and even saw boosted sales just by having it featured in Game Pass advertising. See, I want to throw in some caveats there. I do agree that Game Pass does give exposure. Oh, right, let's come back to the same screen. Nice. I do agree that Xbox Game Pass does give... Yes, X-Pac! Xbox Game Pass does give exposure, and I do agree that it has had some good case studies, but you can't really compare Game Pass in 2019 to now, because Game Pass in 2019 was very much we will promote your game as being part of Game Pass. And it was kind of, Game Pass needed the games to promote itself. In 2019, nobody cared about Game Pass. I mean, it's not quite right, but it was just not the same thing. I remember being at E3 2019 at the Xbox, like, what's it called? Basically, the stadium, the Xbox kind of stadium that they do the Xbox conferences in. And they had all of this Game Pass branding everywhere and all this activity. And at that point, I didn't really know what Game Pass was. I thought it's just some PlayStation Now-esque piece of shit. And it turns out it's much, much better than PlayStation Now. But back then, I didn't really know, didn't really care. So games being on Game Pass in 2019, boosting sales of games and then having people buy games outside of Game Pass, that was different then, because people didn't commit to Game Pass back then. It didn't have Ultimate. It didn't have EA Play and everything in it. So people would see something and go, actually, yeah, I am going to buy something outside of it. Because outside of Game Pass was a thing. Xbox is entirely inside Game Pass now. So how can it boost sales outside of Game Pass? I wouldn't really say that's applicable anymore. And just because Game Pass does work for a number of indie developers, I do believe that there will be a lot of indie developers out there that don't get the exposure. So like what was the name of this dating game? Boyfriend Dungeon. Let's say that's got some risque topics in there. Not anything bad, but something risque. And Xbox goes, actually, we don't want that sort of shit in Game Pass. That's that developer's creative freedom. Just kiboshed.
I mean, these the indie developers will be being paid to be on the service as well, won't they? Which should subsidise the sales that they would have got elsewhere. So it's like, I can't imagine there were other conversation like, we'll pay you for the exposure. You can come into Game Pass. We won't give you anything but exposure, and then hope that someone will buy your in-game purchases, or when you fall off of Game Pass, if people still love your game, they'll go out and pay for it. Then I imagine there would be subsidised, I won't say handsomely, but enough for you to be able to go, actually, this might be a very good deal for us. So it's, I do see where it's coming, where they are coming from. I don't see a problem with what they've said. I don't think it'll be applicable for everyone, though.
Yeah, there is good points in this though. Like it's not just Game Pass, by the way. It's Game Pass, and if PlayStation Now was a bit bigger, PlayStation Now, but you see it more with the likes of Apple Arcade and Google's equivalent, is a lot of app developers are pushed into certain streams to generate revenue. So if Game Pass goes, actually, your game is massive, and we want that free on Game Pass on day one, so we'll give you 70 million. You're like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
All right, sold. But my game's an indie thing. You're like, okay, we don't really want that, so we're going to give you about 80 quid. But as with other games on the platform, if people play that game, we will give you, for every hour played, we will give you a quid or whatever like that. That's what we give everyone else. So because we're not expecting you to get as much, we'll give you 3 quid for every hour played. We'll give you like a bit more incentive. The developers could be like, well, it's 3 times as much as everyone else, but my game's only an hour long. So everyone's going to jump in and play it for an hour. I'm going to get 3 quid and done. So for that person is going to give me 3 quid of revenue and 80 quid from Xbox. So if I split that across all the users, about £3.10 from that one user. Whereas if they were buying that game in full, 25 quid, store costs and whatever, I'm probably making 13 quid on that. So I'm down 10 quid per user, which is massive money dropped on that. So yeah, Game Pass isn't unique to that, but that's the issue. That's the kind of issues that we do get from Game Pass is it sustainable? Not just for Microsoft, but for developers themselves. And it's not. It isn't a one-size-fits-all. But like Chris has put a good one there. Is like... we've seen it previously. Insurgency Sandstorm, how good is that game?
Yeah, it's a brilliant game. Fantastic.
We played that game. We played it on launch day. Shout out to the team at Insurgency as well. Give us a couple of copies to give away, Xbox and PlayStation. But the game is available on Xbox and PlayStation, but it's not in Game Pass.
Not yet.
So there's a number of players that we play games with on Xbox that would have loved to have played with us, but just didn't want to spend 40 quid on the game, which is fine because it's close to PUBG, which is where my main game is, or it's probably a game I would enjoy as a side game, so I don't want to spend 40 quid on a side game. But because of the Game Pass environment, it's like, well, I'm used to getting the games that I can try on the side for free. So why don't I just wait to see if this comes into Game Pass rather than buying it? Which is what Chris has put there. I can see that. I bought Ollie Ollie World a couple of days ago. All my friends are just waiting for it to be added to Game Pass. They like the game. They want to play the game. They just don't want to pay for the game.
Ollie Ollie World is definitely... It stinks of a Game Pass game as well. I remember playing that on my PS Vita. But yeah, it stinks of a Game Pass game. I doubt it'll be too long before it's on that.
Yeah, so not a bad thing. It makes sense. Why spend 40 quid if you don't have to spend 40 quid? If you just want to fill your time with a game and it's not your prime choice of game, then play one of the many other games that are on Game Pass.
Did that with new Super Lucky's Tale. Brilliant platforming game. I never would have paid for it, but I imagine now if a new Super Lucky's Tale 2 came out, I would happily pay the money to be able to buy that game. Even if it was to go on Game Pass, I'd probably end up buying it on my PlayStation anyway, but... Yeah,
that quote was given to him by Sarah Bond at Xbox, by the way. I played it within Game Pass, but if a new one comes out, I definitely would buy it outside of Game Pass.
You can buy my opinion for one McRib.
Ooh, I'd smash him. I'd smash anything right now.
I've got Russell upstairs, which I cannot wait to get stuck in. I am starving. I've had nothing to eat today yet.
I've got the tiniest pot noodle in the world. It's not even a pot noodle, it's like a pot pasta, the bolognese thing.
Shall we go pork shop round corner?
Yeah, just don't tell Danielle, because we're eating healthy, aren't we, babe? Shh.
Is she in the chat?
She was. I don't know if she still is. She probably is. She's always around.
Always watching.
Always watching Wazowski. I was going to say something to her earlier on, but I can't remember what I was going to say. I was going to say something. It was when we were talking about the games and stuff. Oh, it was when we were talking about the Switch Sports stuff. Like, should we play some Switch Sports, babe? But then I said we'll probably play Get Drunk anyway and just went up from there. So yeah, that's it. We are going to wrap things up. To give you a quick recap, indies can't compete with Game Pass. Don't get me wrong, Game Pass could be good for indies. A lot of indies will get exposure. They will get their game put in front of millions of players. What was it? Is it surpassed like 20, 30 million subscribers, 50 million or whatever it was?
Something outrageous.
There she is. There she is. Hey, I see you, babe. So, Game Pass does give games exposure, and exposure is a good thing. Even though it's a word that gets thrown around for bad things, we'll pay you with exposure. That's when it's shit. But it does give them exposure. So this game that you mentioned further on that would never have dreamed of having 600,000 users, can't find it. Never mind. Couldn't dream of having 600,000 users. It got that because Game Pass unlocked the audience. So Game Pass does give you things like that. That's great. But when everything is on Game Pass, when Call of Duty is on Game Pass day one, and your game comes out halfway through November, which is 6 weeks after the launch of Call of Duty, still doesn't matter. Call of Duty is still heavy there, so that's irrelevant. Okay, so it's good, but it's not good. So indies can't compete with Game Pass. It's good for some of them. It's not good for everyone. Keep that in mind. It's good for us, though, because we get best deal in gaming. So
absolutely.
Nice. Exclamation mark Game Pass in the chat if you want to know what Game Pass is. Elsewhere, Microsoft claims it will continue to release their games, their upcoming games, should I say, i.e. the Blizzard Activision games, the Call of Duties, the Overwatches and things like that. Those are apparently going to keep coming out on PlayStation. So if you're a PlayStation user, don't worry. We can still play the games. We just have to play stupidly proportionately high costs, but it's fine. Just get an Xbox as well. Everyone wins. Nice. And we covered everything announced in the Nintendo Direct last night. There was a ton of stuff, starting from Mario Strikers through to Mario Kart 8 DLC with some Star Wars and a whole lot of other stuff in between. It's all good. Nice. Lotus says, Red wine.
I saw that it was a bit of a sing-along song last night.
I'm sat there with my PC. The stream's not even gone live, so I've got Twitch chat at the side of it, and I just see Lotus write red wine. So I was like, hey, I'm going right back to it.
Get earwormed.
So yeah, I responded, and then he responded, and then David was there as well, so he responded. I was like, look at all these people just chilling out in the Twitch chat, ready for us to go live. Let's go. I'm just the best. You got them right. Last night's stream was great, actually, by the way. If anyone didn't join it, you can watch it back on Twitch, or you can just join us on Saturday morning for some more ICU PUBG fun times. We were chasing crates with mates, with mates, but we were on late. Yeah, we were. Lotus has been, you know, he's got little ones, he's got a family and stuff. But last night he stayed on a bit later than usual, so we got extra games.
What time's a little bit later?
I think it was like 11ish. So yeah.
I was well snoozing by then.
It might have even been after 11. It could have been closer to 12. I don't know. I didn't realise how late I stayed on. So we were also joined by West and Beans and Nietzsche. Oh, I think that was it. Last night. I usually forget one person, but I think cause we usually have a high turnover of people. Like I've forgotten Ditchy in the past few weeks. I've forgotten Nietzsche one of the weeks before. I've forgotten Lotus as well, even though I'm always chasing crates with Lotus. So, but I think that was it. We only had like
no Tito.
No, Tito.
Outrageous.
Wasn't interested. We did have Naked Neil in the chat though, getting involved with the "Who's that Pokemon?" Handsome duo. Goddamn right. Had a blast though. That 6x Groza game. He was ridiculous. He was running around with the Groza with a 6x, melting people, full sprays from like across the map. And the only reason he didn't win the game was just as he was aiming at someone, looking down his 6x, someone threw a grenade behind him, which gave him aim punch. So he went to pull up his gun, and rather than looking at you, he was like looking at the floor. So he had to like pull his aim up like that, and by the time he got there, he hit this guy almost to death. He just got that one bullet. Unlucky. But that is it from us. We are done now. The scoop is gone. It's gone. We will be back in the morning, though, with the next and final episode of The Scoop for this week. So do feel free to join us for that. As mentioned, we'll be back on Saturday and potentially Sunday with more gameplay content this week. If you are back on Sunday, is it Skyrim?
I still haven't turned my PlayStation on, so Christ knows if my capture card's going to work. If not, my biggest fallback is I've got Football Manager installed and I know it'll work on my PC. So if all else fails, we've got Football Manager, but I'm hoping, it should be some Skyrim.
Nice. So potentially 2 gameplay streams this weekend, PUBG Saturday, Skyrim / Football Manager Sundays. But before any of that happens, Mr. Bibb.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, again, thank you very much for joining us for the 4th episode of The Scoop this week. We still have one more show that you can shape. So if you want to do that, there's 2 ways you can do so. First of all, find us on all of our social medias. It's at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, including Hover. And TikTok, which I haven't posted on yet, but it's just there, ready and reserved. Or alternatively, get involved with our Discord. All we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
Chatbot dead. It's just not bothered. Nice one, Chatbot. But it will be at 10 a.m. Ish. We'll be back at 10 a.m. ish tomorrow. I mean, today we didn't go live until, what was it, like 20 past 1? Something like that. Something half 1, 1-ish. Maybe just before 1. There you go. 10 to 1-ish. Nice. 1 p.m.-ish. There you go. So yeah, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.-ish. Nice. Stick around, though. We're going to drop a raid on one of our buddies. We don't know who. We'll see who's live, and then we'll drop some love on them. Stick around for the raid because you get extra channel points that you can spend within our streams. By the way, I have dropped the price of the level 3 helmet games, by the way, for a short time only. It's not 30k anymore. It's just 10k.
Woo!
Also, I've increased it from 1 per stream to 3 per stream.
Oh, hello.
So
I've got about 70 grand.
Just saying, if you're not, I mean, I can refuse them. That's all I'm saying.
Every single one from me. Refused.
Drop the price of mod application. Was there a hat update, G? Oh, do you know what? Actually, one final time.
One final time.
So this is the hat update. The hat update is that we are almost ready to go. So this is
a box.
A box, nice. You know what it is. But then inside the box we have hats. Hey! Flat peak. So we have the boxes, we have the hats. The only things we're waiting on is just the stickers coming from Denmark, of all places. So they should hopefully be with us tomorrow. If not tomorrow, early next week. As soon as we've got them in, as we've mentioned earlier on the show, myself and Baby, it will be a very manual process because we don't have merch distribution network set up. It's just us boxing stuff, sending stuff out to you. So we will, once we have it, we will post it in the Discord and stuff, so you know when we can take payments, and we'll sort it all out from there. We'll sort all the pricing, and it'll be good.
yeah.
As we mentioned, we still expect around 17 quid. If there's anyone that's international or something like that, then that will probably impact on postage, but we're doing it on a one-by-one basis, so we will let you know what the cost is before it comes to purchasing. Nice. I've got 149k fun times ahead. Fuck.
Yeah.
To be fair, we've still not done an Optimus Prime game yet. We've done Kylo Ren. That was the second to last helmet.
Choose the helmet.
Yeah, so they do level 3 helmet game, and I go, which one do you want?
That's mint.
So yeah, there's quite a few helmets in there.
Which is the one that you can't see the most in? Is it Spider-Man
one? Spider-Man was difficult because I have to just look out of one eye. But when I'm just looking out of one eye, it was okay. It was probably the Green Ranger one because it's like being stood in a shower. It's just the steam. Fuck off. Look at the face.
I hope everyone's taking notes here because this is all going to come in handy when you actually go to use them on Saturday.
Power Rangers we worked out was hard. Yeah, so I had to keep stopping to like clean the inside of it so I could see.
Fantastic. So yeah, bear that in mind. I may even post it out socially on Saturday at some point as well, while Graham is in the middle of his game, so he won't be able to react to it.
Fuck's sake.
So who knows? Who knows? But just make sure you write that down.
White shoes. Someone's brave. What about me old man shoes? These are my Skechers because they're old man and comfy. Nice. Flat Peak in the bin. Yeah, that's why we've got the trial one as a Flat Peak, just to Jim Carrey it around. Ace Ventura.
Yeah, Ace Ventura holding it
down. Power Rangers. I was lucky enough to be your duo that game. Yeah, unfortunately.
Wait for him to do a solo one so that you can't have anyone help you out. I mean, I'm just throwing curveballs out here. I'll be reminding you all on Saturday.
I kind of did a solo one as Kylo Ren. It was squads. There was Nietzsche and Kane, and they both got thirsted by one team.
I thought it was just being useless.
Yeah, I don't want to
get Heelys, bro.
You get me? What, float around like a devil child, where you just see a kid just go, ooh, what the fuck is that? So yeah, by the way, that Kylo Ren clip, if you haven't seen that before, it might be on our hover soon.
It's soon. It's there in the background, ready and waiting.
So keep your eyes out. Go around Tesco like bad bands and them Heelys fam. Yeah, you get me, blood. Anyway, we are going to disappear. Me, Bib, the sexy hats and all that jazz. We're going to go and raid someone else. So stick around for the raid. But that is it from us for today. We will see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Until then, stay frosty.